With Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, being only any number of weeks away, our minds are already somewhat focused on this pending day of so-called judgment. There are any number of rituals that we already conduct ourselves with, such as the blowing of the shofar daily, etc., which is there to focus our minds to ensure that we get ourselves into the right frame of mind before the big day. If there's one thing that we all typically do in advance of the Jewish New Year, it is New Year's resolutions. We all make them, but we struggle, no doubt, throughout the course of the year to necessarily keep them. Of course, the bigger question to consider is, what is the rationale? What is the thinking behind the actual resolution? Typically, it's a case of, I'll do this for God, and then hopefully God will do something for me. I'll undertake to do something new and meaningful in my life, and then in exchange, God will give me a happy and sweet new year. But is that really how God works? Does God take bribes? Is it a case of offering him a sweetener such that he then has to do something to reciprocate in kind? I suggest to you that a New Year's resolution is entirely for our own sake. After all, it's a new year. And if it's a new year, it's about determining how I can be a new me. When we confront Rosh Hashanah, we have essentially two choices. Either to just be the same person going through the same things into yet another year, in which case it's just a roll-on of the same process. And frankly, how boring is that? Or I can pause to appreciate that Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, is the day in which man was first brought into being, and as such, each and every single Rosh Hashanah, I am, as it were, being recreated. And if indeed on the very first Rosh Hashanah, man was brought into being with unique challenges and opportunities presented before him, then every single year on Rosh Hashanah, I must pause to consider new challenges, new opportunities to rise to as I go through the course of the coming year. Again, if it's going to be a new year, I want to strive to create a new, better, meaningful me. And that is the essence of whatever resolutions it is that we undertake. Then it becomes a question of, so what kind of resolution do I undertake? Well, don't set the bar too high where it's something entirely out of your reach, where you know it's unrealistic, but by no means set the bar too low either, where it's just simply too easy and within your actual comfort zone. Because it's only outside the comfort zone that real progress can ever be established. Perhaps, more than anything, use this as your guide. When you stand there on Rosh Hashanah and you consider what you're going to do different in the coming year, ask yourself the following. If I only knew I had moments left to live, where would I go? What would I do? Who would I call? What would I say? And then, what are you waiting for? With that in mind, you're guaranteed a good new year. Stay happy, be inspired.